It's certainly a great difference from where we were 10 years ago. It was blistering hot. People were headed out of town, boarding up their homes, and worried would they have a home to come back to. You may remember it was 10 years ago that Hurricane Rita made landfall in Southeast Texas. Landfall actually coming tomorrow. But on the day before, the roads were packed. James Ware was there, so was I, and so was Greg Fountain as well, watching all of this unfold and take place. And you're at the kind of the epicenter, to me, of what happened after the hurricane, which was Ford Park, and in a parking lot that became staging area for all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's correct. This became the staging area for a lot of things, and I've got to ask you, Greg, is that this will remain the staging area for Jefferson County?
Correct. You know, every year we work our plans over with the state, and for them to bring resources into us. Many of the people in the public don't realize that when the equipment and water and ice trucks were coming in, there was trucks stacked up 5 miles down the interstate. They started coming over on 124 trying to get in. It was a bottleneck here. There was that much equipment and resources coming in.
Yeah. You talked about that, how this is one of the few stretches of Interstate 10 that does not have an access road.
Exactly. You know, back in the late 80s, they widened Interstate 10 over in Chambers County. After that, they widened it over in Orange County, and now we're the bottleneck stretch. And during an evacuation, we're always going to have that issue, especially the 69 I-10 interchange coming from Mid and South County.
Yeah. 2005, when Rita came through, are we still learning from that? I know Ike came in 2008, and we got to put some of that in the working, but are we still learning from it?
You learn from every event. I mean, nobody expected an Umberto in 2007, the fastest forming storm in U.S. history. That was a learning lesson that just because it's a tropical storm, it can still roll up into a Cat 1 pretty quick. You go back to Superstorm Sandy. Most of us down here were laughing at them getting all excited about a Cat 1, but Roger Erickson with the National Weather Service has a slide that he uses that compares Katrina was 350 nautical miles across, where Sandy was 750 nautical miles. That's kind of the same situation we found with Hurricane Ike, the size of the storm.
600 miles wide at one point.
Exactly, and filled up in, you know, most of the Gulf of Mexico. And when you have something like that, what traditionally was considered a Cat 2 hurricane had a Cat 4 storm surge. So every one of them we learned from.
Yeah, and the big thing with Rita was we had those evacuees from Katrina that were staying here at Ford Park. That was 1,300 people that we now had to evacuate and get them out of this area because Rita was coming along.
Exactly, and all the state resources for Rita were west and south of Galveston, and when they were needed here, couldn't get here in time, and that's why the air evacuation had to take place. We still have those type of plans, but they're definitely not what we want people to do, is to have to go out that way. We want people to be self-reliant, have a family plan in place. Go to ready.gov, go to floodsmart.gov to see, should you really have flood insurance? You'd be amazed at what just 6 inches or 8 inches of water in your house will cost you.
Yeah. We even learned from simple things like a generator. We had a family here of 5 that were killed. Their generator was on their porch, and all those fumes were going in the house, and they all ended up dying from it.
Yeah, they were afraid somebody was going to steal their generator if they left it elsewhere, and that was a tragic incident. And that's another reason when an evacuation's called, we want people to leave because it's miserable here. The hospitals, assisted living facilities, none of that's back up and operational. The city sewer systems, all of that has to be gone through. The water treatment plants are down, and without that, government can't provide everything, and you're going to be in a bind.
Yeah, and you talked about your house in Nederland was without power for 12 days, and just by people coming back too soon, it slows the process down.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, Energy says it cuts their productivity down by 40% when the population starts coming back. And we know we have business owners, we have people that have livestock that they want to check on, but the evacuation order is not lifted until it's safe for everybody. We know there's a lot of resilient people in Southeast Texas, but there's also people that need assistance that we can't give them everything they need.
Again, we're at the staging area that would, if something were to happen again, but hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed and we'll all remain calm this year.
Yeah, well, the good news is, James, we're quickly running through, what's left of the tropical season. So maybe we'll go another year without even having to talk about it. Thanks, guys.